Beck's Hybrids is once again challenging growers with their 300 bushel contest. Beck's agronomist Ryan McAllister says each grower has their own recipe for trying to achieve that.
Last year, a lot of guys increased their population, they increased their nitrogen rate, and they applied a fungicide. Those were the three main things that they tried in their recipe.
Some of last year's farmers shared what worked and didn't work when it came to trying to achieve the 300 bushels.
I think our highest yield last year was 237. Wasn't as close as I'd like to be, but it was pretty interesting how far we did get. One thing we did try was deep tillage, deep ripper, and unfortunately we didn't get to it till early spring, so I think that was a downfall we had. And we also tried the use of hog manure. We have two contract finishing buildings that we use to help supply some of the nutrients and some of the fertility for the coming crop. I did split my nitrogen applications up, and I did bump my nitrogen applications up as well, both times that I did my split application side dress, and I don't think that worked quite as well as I had hoped.
We were in the 240, 245 category. We had weather conditions that washed away a lot of the nitrogen, and we had put on a lot of nitrogen, and I think that that was kind of a response to the nitrogen we put on. There were some other things we did as well. We used aerial application of urea, where in past 300 bushel attempts we were concentrating more on foliars, and I think we kind of moved our focus a little bit away from foliars and concentrate a little bit more on nitrogen efficiency.
So what will farmers be trying this year to reach that 300 bushel goal?
Guys are going to a whole new level. They're trying some foliar feeds at different times. We know that the time of day on a foliar feed is critical, doing it in the early morning and in the late evening. So that's one thing that they're doing. They're trying different forms of nitrogen at different times. And they're doing things to try and make sure that they have a better uniform stand. So some guys are adding, for instance, like the Seed Sense 2020 and the Air Force down pressure system from Precision Planting on their planter, and trying to make sure that they achieve a better stand with higher plant populations to start.
Dad and I have discussed it, and we're going to use some more micronutrient formulations in our fertilizers and our liquid suspensions, and I think we're also going to try to split some more of our applications up in a more timely manner than what we did last year. And biggest thing is just being particular about your soil conditions and your planting times and the weather. You know, trying to match up your practices with what the weather's dishing out for you.
I think I'm going to concentrate on efficiency of fertilizer. That's really the whole drive of this, is to determine what does and what does not work, and I'm going to try to drive my costs down on my inputs by making them more efficient.
One of the things that was most interesting to me was using ammonium sulfate at the V5, V7 stage, spreading it out there for another source of nitrogen. We use ammonium sulfate in the fall, but we generally stick with 28 the rest of the season. That may be definitely something that we try.